Now, I spent a great deal of time modeling great trainers. Teresia was talking about that. This course, Standing in Contribution, is being taught with huge audiences around the world. The last group was 170, with 40 people waiting and not being able to get in because of the size of the room and the group and the training assistants. The reason they're all coming to this program is because they do leave comfortable. They lose their weebie-jeebies.
So Marilyn, what would you say, what would be a couple things that contributes to that? Like, how can somebody lose their
weebie-jeebies?
And it may be different for everyone, but I wonder if there's a couple common shifts that happen, or that we
there's
need to focus
a
on.
couple of really important shifts. So we modeled great trainers, and we really noticed how they use their attention. How does the brain work? So great trainers, as they work with their audience, use their body-mind differently than people who just sort of walk in front of a group and say, "Oh, hello, everybody, here I am." In fact, they, first of all, what do you think they do with their vision?
Connect with it?
Well, they genuinely just allow themselves to keep scanning their audience. They're with the audience. What do you think a great trainer does with their tone of voice?
Variety?
Everything. In fact, a strong trainer is paying attention to their voice like music. And they learn to listen to themselves the way an orchestra conductor listens to the orchestra.
I just want to ask, are you guys feeling sort of really enrolled with what Marilyn is saying right now? Like, I'm getting excited, and it's the way you're using your voice. That's a big piece of it. Would you agree? Yeah. Okay, so may I jump in?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm hearing love your audience, and I'd like to build on that later when I talk a little later, how we can really do that and choose audiences that we love. And tone of voice would be another key.
Right.
I remember when I did the Train the Trainers, it was really, we did a couple exercises, and that's the other great thing. It's hands-on, it's experiential. So if you have any insecurities about it, you're getting a lot of opportunity to practice.
You practice hour by hour.
Yeah, that's
and
excellent.
You get immediate opportunities to see what works.
So can you tell us a little bit more about tone of voice? Like, if we wanted to play with that when we're speaking, what can we focus on around that?
Well, there's quite a bit. First of all, I mentioned we play our voice like an orchestra leader leads an orchestra. That means as we're talking, our voice, our gestures, our body becomes congruent with our talk. Now, we do that in a way that allows us, we pay no attention to the body. We do pay attention to the space we're in. We're using this space just like you would use your living room. There's shelves up here. There's points on the floor that are 10 out of 10 and 1 out of 10. There's energy spots. There's dissociation spots. And there's tone building spots. So your voice becomes owned by your deeper intuition. You don't have to do it. It's not like you're practicing. No, you give your voice away. You give your voice to what is most important that day to actually be accomplished. Now that sounds kind of woo-woo, but it works. It's called, some of you know the word, and you can all go with me. It's a 1 and a 2 and a 3, coach position. Whoa.
Marilyn, can you give us an example of that, of, speaking to the, because you said you just go with your intuition and was it the purpose, what you're focusing on?
Well, yeah, you need to know what you're going to accomplish with that group of people and by when. This is very focused on them getting a result. It's what we call participant-centered training. Now, you know, there's a lot of different kinds of training in the world. There is technology-centered training or data-centered training where people come in and they write like mad and go home with a sheaf of notes and put them on their shelf and not look at them again. We've all been to school, right? Now that isn't what we're doing at all. It's not data-centered. And it's not trainer-centered either. Now, you as a trainer learn to do a little razzmatazz. You know, you can have a little fun for sure, but it's not about you. It's about your audience, their goals, their results, and their ability to take away what in fact they came and spent their hours and time doing.
Okay, great. So we have what I'm picking up: love your audience, tone.
Yeah.
What would be the third biggest thing you would want them to get about?
Oh,
speaking?
she's adding numbers on.
I like three. I would walk with three key points.
Oh, once again, out of the many. So, an area we aren't touching on yet, but will, is creating very juicy programs. Programs that people come across, you know, continents to be a part of. Or even tell their friends, go and listen to so-and-so's talk, because you'll, one, have a lot of fun, two, really go away internalizing the content. In other words, it won't be something that somehow got missed. You know, they said this is going to be covered in this and this and this. No, you'll know what the top points are and why they're important and how they're important to you. And what's more, you'll know how to practice them. And that's what a great program does. It allows people to leave satisfied that they actually did what was necessary to integrate that.
Okay. And how could they do that? What?
Well, that's what designing a great program is all about.